All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yad, La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Racha, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the others, great millstone to rule well, and peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right, this lesson, I'm going to be going through Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. I may go through the whole chapter, I may not. I'm not completely sure yet. But let's just kind of dive right into this. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, which is in the Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be. Well, let me address this first. People scoff us, people scorn us, people hate us, people talk shit about us, people, do all these things against us. And a big reason for that is because they have no idea what we're doing, to the extent, they don't understand how serious this thing is. Okay, when they see hell break loose, when they see these things pop off, that's when they're going to realize, okay, we fucked up. These people were trying to help us. They were trying to teach us the scriptures. They were giving us a message, and we scoffed them, we scorned them, we talked shit about them, we um, cast them, cast the letter that they were delivering behind us, because we're just deliverers of the message, man. That's all we're doing. We're just messengers. Okay. And now we're coming into the time when they're really going to afflict us. Okay. Which let's look up this word, because they're going to start really coming for us. Now we need, not the movie. It's something that we need to, which I've never actually seen this movie, but we've never actually seen, or I mean, they're going to demonize us because they're actually going to come for us, which you have to be ready for. Okay. Because in this lifetime, we haven't gotten that type of affliction yet. It says cause pain or suffering to affect or trouble. Okay. And like I said, this is really going to come pretty soon here. You can see that the media is starting to really demonize us, on a wide scale. All right. It's the very beginning of that. So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon. We got verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Now, this is talking about many different things. Or, I mean, I can be talking about many different things. The main one that pops into mind is being beamed up by the chariots, because they, that's not something people talk about on a daily basis. That's not something people just expect. Oh yeah, this day this guy's going to get beamed up by a chariot, by a UFO, so called. People don't know what that is. They don't talk about UFOs. A lot of people don't believe in UFOs in general. So seeing all these chariots come and all this destruction happening, and then a member of the elect being beamed up, somebody that they talk shit about being beamed up into a chariot before the nukes hit, they're gonna be amazed. They're gonna be utterly, at a loss of words. They're not gonna have anything to say. All right. And that can also even be talked about during Jacob's trouble, because you're going to see some men get spiritual power out of nowhere. Maybe martial law troops are surrounding them, about to, kill him or whatever, and all of a sudden he just gets spiritual power and just gets out of that situation. Maybe somebody will see an animal bring this man some food. All these different things, because Yahweh likes exalting His name. Okay, He used Moses to split that rock of Horeb for the water to come out. He used Moses to split the Red Sea. He used Aaron specifically, Aaron using the staff to cause some of these plagues, like the water to turn into blood. Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness. A lot of these people think we're mad out here, man, which means crazy. Right? A lot of these people out here think that we're crazy, that we, have just no sense at all, that we're just, uttering words of madness that doesn't make sense, that we don't even know what we're talking about. They just think we're crazy. They think that we're, people that wear tinfoil hats. All right. And his end to be without honor. All right, they don't see us getting rewarded for this. They don't see what we're saying being true. They don't see it yet, but they're beginning to, because these prophecies are coming to life, and we let the scriptures speak, man. And the prophecies are definitely speaking right now if you're watching for them. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh and his lot among the saints? So a lot of people are going to wonder how the hell you are even a man of the Lord, man, because maybe you were a nerd, or maybe you were a thug, or maybe you were, like in the world, you're doing all sorts of whack ass shit. They're going to wonder and they're going to say, how the fuck was this a prophet, man? But that's also goes into Yahweh exalting his name, showing forth his power. Okay, let me go to, I know it's in the New Testament. I'm just going to search it up. Okay. All right, this is First Corinthians. I'm going to start at verse 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called, but Yahweh hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Yahweh hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And base things of the world, and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. So it's all to, and it's exalting his name, because people are going to understand that we're not just typical men. We're not just people working 9 to 5 or going to high school, going to college, that we have, something is different about us. All right. Now we're not just some nut jobs reading words out of a book. That the words that we're speaking are actually, inspired, given to us from Yahweh, what Yahweh Shai. Okay, that there's actually meaning behind what we're doing, and it's not vanity, which we have to understand that ourselves too, and that should motivate you. So people are going to really wonder, this was a man of the Lord. This guy's a prophet. Verse 6. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined upon us, or Shalaki, not onto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, as for the way of Yahweh, we have not known it. All right, and this is the people that were talking shit. This is what they're saying. They didn't know the way of Yahweh, man. All right, your pastor don't know the way of Yahweh. All right, Muhammad doesn't know the way of Yahweh. Okay, Buddha doesn't know the way of Yahweh. None of these none of these religions, ideologies, atheism, all this none of it knows the way of Yahweh. Okay, and not to sound proud, but we do, so to speak. All right, to an extent. From the apostles and elders of great millstone on down, we understand what we're supposed to be doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and that's what we're doing. Okay, and we're telling you that according to the scriptures, you have to be doing this. You can't do this. You can't do this. You have to be doing this and that. This isn't out of our own hearts. This is out of the scriptures, and you people don't want to listen. All right. And when you see these plagues really come into play, when Jacob's trouble really, really kicks off, which is already in the beginning, but when it really pops off and you see all these different plagues coming straight for you, you're going to realize and say, I wasn't right with the Lord. I wasn't. I thought I was, but I wasn't. All right. Verse 8. What hath our pride profited us? A lot of you Jakes are prideful as hell, man. And you're going to be wondering, what the hell did the pride give me? Well, first of all, I want you to really think about this. What the hell do you have to be prideful about, man? All right. What the fuck do you have to be prideful about? There is nothing that we have to be proud about, man. Nothing. All right. Even us in this truth, even the apostles, there's nothing we should be prideful about. We have to be humble. We have to be meek, because we're garbage, man. If it weren't for Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, we'd still be in the world. We'd still be doing wicked ass shit. We'd still be smoking weed. We'd still be committing adultery. We'd still be eating pork. We'd still be eating crab or whatever the fuck you were doing. You wouldn't be where you are today, man. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Shemel Shai Tam Yad. All right, we have nothing to be proud about. You should be confident. You should have high self-esteem. You should have faith, but you have to be humble and meek. There's no reason for us to be proud, especially you fucking 2/3. All right, especially you 2/3. If the elect, whoever they may be, Yahweh Yahweh is aware of the elect, or if you're a sincere sister that you're of the 1/3. But if we don't have anything to be prideful about, or any of the prophets in the Bible, or anything like that, what the hell do these 2/3 bug outs have to be proud about, man? That they bought $400 shoes? You wasted $400 on a pair of shoes. How is that something to be proud about? You niggas sound stupid as hell, man. Or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, right? So all that shit that you're being proud about, most of the time, you're being proud about money or shoes, maybe a house, a car, women. All that stuff can be taken away in the drop of a dime, man. And as a post that hasted by, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. Or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to shew, but were consumed in our own wickedness. All right, so ultimate conclusion of our whole message is that you have to repent and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Yahushai, or you're going to be destroyed. And that's not hate. All right, there's a strong distinctive line between hate speech and truth, man. And this is truth. Because you can't handle it, because you get emotional, and because it hurts your feelings, it doesn't make it hate. Okay? Because we wouldn't be making these videos or going on the highways and byways. We wouldn't be doing any of this if we hated you, man. Think about that for a second. All right? We're trying to deliver you the message of Yahweh Yahushai so you can be saved. Not so you can, not so we can just scream at you and yell at you and cuss you out. Because we'd rather not do that. We'd rather see you accept the truth and understand it and grow in it. Okay? Like Yahushua talked about how if he had 100 sheep and one went astray, he would joy when he brought the one sheep back, man. And the angels rejoice when a sinner repents. All right? And so do we. Verse 14, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind. And a lot of you that spend $400 on shoes or be worshiping money, you're going to be eating that money, man, or eating your shoes, or you're going to be using your shoes and money to start a fire. All right? Because that's all going to be worth nothing. Like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passeth away as a remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahweh, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore they shall receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahweh's hand, which really Yahushua is the one that's going to crown the elect. For with which, if you can receive it, King Solomon was Yahushua, right? For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them, right? And you 2/3 ain't protected, man. You 2/3 are going to realize that you're all alone, right? That you're all alone. Because you're going to feel so forsaken. You can call on Jesus Christ, Buddha, which Jesus Christ is Serapis. You can call on Allah. You can call on all these gods, Zeus. You're not going to get saved, okay? Because those are false gods. Those are all false gods. Yahweh is the name of the Father, and Yahushua is the name of his Son, okay? And anything else you're calling on is nothing more than an idol. It's nothing, okay? It can't save you. It can't even save itself because it's not real. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom. Okay, so the elect are going to be the first to inherit the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on the planet Earth. And a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. So the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3 are going to be protected in those days. And, except there will be, of the 144,000, there will be some that are martyrs, but they're still protected up until that point. All right, that's just a major test of faith for them. All right, they're still not forsaken like you 2/3 are. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. All right, that goes into how Yahweh was talking about how we're his battle axe and weapons of war. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield, His severe wrath shall he sharpen for his sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow. And the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and a like storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. All right, now we're going to go back to this right here, because these scriptures right here proves that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Okay, I know it's in Corinthians, I think. Weapons of our warfare. And then I'm also going to go to Ephesians 6. This is 2 Corinthians verse 2 Corinthians 10 and 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Let's go to Ephesians 6 now. This is Ephesians chapter 6. I'll start at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, right, which is Esau's world. Read 2 Ezra 6, 7 to 9. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith. The just shall live by faith. All right, also Hebrews 11 and 7. Without faith it is impossible to please him. Wherewith ye shall, I think it's verse 7. Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh. That's going into Hebrews 4 and 12. Which actually, let me get that. Hebrews 4, that scripture is heavy. This is Hebrews chapter, well, all the scriptures are heavy, but this is Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So it's sharper than any two-edged sword. It's more powerful. It's the best weapon, okay? And it's spiritual. You don't actually physically harm anybody with it, okay? Because you don't need to. Because you don't need to, man. It says the word of Yahweh, right? And that's really why, to be completely honest, like through the Spirit, that's why we say, well, I mean, it's very clear that this is spiritual war, okay? And you may lose a spiritual battle here and there against demons and wickedness and all this, because just man falls 7 times, but you got to get back up. All right, the battle goes. You may lose a battle here, and you may lose a battle there. You lose battles often. Well, maybe not often, but at times there will be times where you lose a battle. But the war still goes on, man. You got to win the war, and the war is against wickedness. All right, the war is against the flesh, against Esau. And it's all spiritual, which is why these devils are going to start cracking down on us more physically, because they can't stop it, okay? Because they can't stop the word. They can't stop the truth. And also, people, notice how people say that we're worse than the KKK, yet we don't kill anybody. We don't lynch people. We don't rape people. We don't burn down, houses. We don't do anything like that, right? Well, at least not the people teaching the true doctrine. which I don't think anybody, in Hebrew Israelites is doing that, as they call us, black Hebrew Israelites. But I'm talking about specifically the men in the doctrine, right? Because that's, the real men of Yahweh Yahushai, the apostle that was great, most on down, those teaching the true doctrine. We're not doing any of that, but yet we're worse than the KKK. Why is that? Because the weapons that we have, although they're not physical, they're spiritual, they're still way more devastating. Okay? Way more devastating. The scriptures that we bring out cut people worse than a gunshot would hurt them. Physically, they get hurt by a gunshot, but spiritually, this is going to mess them up, man. Because the judgment that carries with it is devastating, right? And I mean, because if you don't listen, because it says it's sharper than any two-edged sword. Let me get this though. There's going to be a sword sent upon the land of Babylon, really up on the planet, but especially Babylon. Isaiah 34 and 4 to 5. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is Greek for Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So if you don't want to get right, you're going to be destroyed in that nuclear destruction. That's the ultimate sword. All right. And the reason is because you didn't listen, because you didn't hearken. There's major judgments that's about to come, man. This government shutdown is like on the 34th day, something like that, and there's no end in sight. They keep saying that there's no end in sight. So I don't know why you think that this is a joke, man. I don't know why you keep thinking it's a joke. Ain't shit funny, man. You're gonna die unless you get right. All right, that's the bottom line. So let's see. That's what I got. All right. I may do another lesson. I mean, this is a good chapter. Wisdom of Solomon, the whole book is good. Like there's certain chapters where you just highlight the whole chapter, man. But they're gonna realize that there was a righteous man standing before his face. Right? They're gonna realize that we are the men set up to teach the truth. Whether they want to accept it or not, they're going to have to come into acceptance of it at one point or another. Okay, which is going into the famine the word even, because by the time they do realize, oh shit, those people were telling the truth, we're not going to be out there teaching no more. All right. So with that said, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor Tam Yad, La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Racha, Kwadash. Have honors the apostles and the others great most honor rule well, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Mawath, love, ball, Shalom.